Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Thomas if you're brand new here, and I make style and hair related videos every single week. So if that's your kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button and come back to me every Monday. Welcome to today's video. We're gonna be judging my subscribers' hair. Now, I know the title and the image, everything was calculated. It was a little bit of clickbait. I'm not gonna be judging people on here. I'm just going to be giving my judgments on what people ask me and what I see in the images. So what gave me this idea? I have a Facebook group called Hairstyles in Action, and we get lots of good ideas come through there. And somebody put in there, you should do a video where you judge your subscribers' hair. And I thought that was actually a really great idea because when I create content, I always try to go from an engaging perspective, an informative perspective, and an open perspective. So I thought I could tick all three of those points by A, engaging directly with you guys with content that you've sent me, and also like I can inform you by letting you ask a question and I can answer it right here in real time. Well, it's not in real time, but like you get what I mean. The idea is you guys have submitted the content and you're included in this conversation as well. Now, I put like a poll out on Facebook, on the YouTube community, everywhere, just saying, hey guys, if you want to be featured in my next video or one of my upcoming videos, just submit your pictures to the link. And so many of you did. There was probably about 160 entries come through, and I was like almost like dying of overwhelm because there was so many to choose from. And not only that, I liked so many of the hairstyles and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna pick this? So if I go back to like being informative, I actually ended up picking ones that have questions because I feel like I could review the hair, give someone a shout out, but also give some feedback for anybody else in the community because, yeah, I feel like that's really important. I really did actually enjoy sitting down and seeing your faces. There's something about that that's like, I don't know, because usually it's Kim and I filming the videos and I don't really get to see you guys a lot, like actual see your faces. So to have entries come in from you directly to me, it's just like, it's a really weird experience. So yeah, and I didn't know how long this video was gonna go for, so I've just picked 7 out of the 160. Now I just have no idea how long it's gonna go. I'm very keen to do more of this if you guys like it. But yeah, it's just a bit of trial and error, and I've picked 7 lucky ducks. I did like a lot of your entries, and thank you so much to everyone who did enter. I'll be keeping all of them on file in case we do more of these videos, but without further ado, let's get into it because I'm excited. Okay, so the first submission is from Franklin. So Franklin asked a question, and before we show his hair, his question was, I've been growing out an undercut and don't know whether or not I should cut the back shorter to get even with the top. Do you think I should? Now, when I looked at his images, so if we have a look here at image 1, we'll click that one first. So this is image 1 here. You can see he's taking a picture of the back of his head with his phone in the mirror. It's quite trippy, actually. Go Franklin. I can see what you mean here, Franklin. Like, your hair on top is actually shorter than the hair at the bottom. And let's have a look at image 2 now as well. So if we look at image 2 here, yes, I can see that that layer, your top hair is like shorter. It's not matching up with the bottom. And I think you should keep growing it like that because I'll tell you why. If you get everything cut to the same length, it makes your head very triangle. Like if you make every hair on top of your head the same length, it actually doesn't match up at all. Like it's terrible. You're better off getting it layered. So I've just been to the hairdresser to get my hair trimmed up by Josh, and he actually made these layers in the back a lot shorter so that my bottom hair looked a lot longer. So what you've actually naturally got going on here seems to be like perfect. All you'd need to do is get it to the length you want, and then you go to the hairdresser and get it layered up so it evens out a lot more. I really hope that answers your question. And another thing I wanted to mention about your hair as well is I really like the mousy brown color. I'm so jealous of people with lighter hair. I think it's because I've always had such really dark hair, and my hair's so brittle, I can't really dye it because on top of it naturally being brittle, when I dye it, it gets even more brittle, and it just doesn't work. So I'm kind of envious of people with lighter hair, especially like the mousy brown, blondes, like fuck you all. The next subscriber whose hair we're judging is from Nate Mateus. I think that's how you say it, Nate Mateus. Nate also didn't give me his Instagram handle, so that's a shame, but here's my favorite image from Nate. Oh, I love this hair so much. So apart from the fact that I really like Jay Alvarez's hair, and Nate's hair looks very similar to it, this is why I chose this one. I just thought the look was really cool. I love the white sweater. I love the crazy curls and the surfy look. It's really cool. Again, envious because I've never had it. But if we look at Nate's question, Nate has actually asked, what are the best products to keep your hair moisturized during the colder time of the year? And I went, when I was looking at this first image, my favorite one, I was like, that hair looks quite moisturized and healthy already. But if we look at image 2 and 3, we can actually see the hair is a little bit dry. Now, to keep this moisturized in colder weather, you're gonna need something a little bit more heavy duty. I always use leave-in conditioner, but the next thing that I found up from that, especially for curly coarse hair like this, is Jane Carter solution. So it's like a shea butter. You can actually, it's moisturizer that you can use on your hair, you can use it on your skin, but you've got to be very careful with it because if you use too much, it looks greasy, but if you use the right amount, it looks perfect. And I think something like Jane Carter solution would be a really good fix for you. It enhances curl, it moisturizes the hair really well, and it lasts for a long time as well. Like leave-in conditioner will usually buzz off after like 24 hours, but Jane Carter solution, you put it in and then you can go like 3 days without needing to add any more moisture to it. So I would get on that. I might leave a link in the description box for you. But that's my best advice for keeping particularly what I'm seeing here moisturized, because yeah, it does look a little bit dry, and if you bleach it, that's probably the real reason why it looks dry. Like a Q&A that I just did before, like I think maybe a month ago now when I did a Q&A, my hair looked very greasy on camera. In real life, when I was actually filming that video, I thought it actually looked fine, but that's the trick. Like with Jane Carter solution, just a little bit too much, fuck. Out of pure fear of getting this name wrong, the next submission is from, I'd try and say the name, but I don't want to be offensive, you know what I mean? Like, and that might be more offensive for me not saying it. I've got to try and say it, come on. Anubhav, okay? Anubhav, I think that's how you say it, okay? And if I got it wrong, I'm so sorry. So this is Anubhav's hair. So this is my favorite image from him, his side profile with his low man bun. I don't know what it is about this one, but I think it looks just really, really cool. The hair looks well moisturized. The bun placement is really nice. And for the first time ever, I actually think the werewolf bits on this man bun look good. Like the werewolf bits that sit down the back, like mine are pretty overgrown right now. I cannot stand these pieces on me, but in this image, I don't know, there was something about the whole side profile that I really liked, and the werewolf pieces kind of look good with this. And the bun in general, it looks nice and full, and I think it's a really good job. So that is my favorite image that Anubhav sent. So if we have a look at image 2, he's rocking his Batman shirt. I like that. I like all superhero stuff. The curls look nice and moisturized in this. The bottom right here, I can't really tell because it's a photo whether that's a little bit over greased or if that's just because it's wet with a bit of product in it. For the most part though, I really like the curl pattern of this guy's hair. And if we look at image 3 as well, like the curl pattern is it just looks cool and crazy, like that real crazy bob length. Really, really a big fan of it. And I just wish in this image, the hair was a little bit clearer, just so we could really have a look at how shiny and moisturized they were. But for the most part, I think I think this is cool hair, and I really love your bun. It's awesome. Nice job. So Anubhav's question was, after shampooing my hair becomes a curly, unmanageable mess. Any tips or products I can use to tame my mane? Great question, because I do get that as well. After I wash my hair, I get this really like poof. It's like, I call it the poof. I get like really bushy hair. And the way I counteract that is by, using a hard hold product. It'll usually be like a mixture of my leave-in conditioner and then also like one of the Blue Man products. So the two that I've gravitated towards the most are Hybrid Cream Clay and Monarch Matte Paste, particularly because they give such a good texturizing feel. And I call them a grouper. They like group the hairs together, which is really what you need when you've washed your hair and it's all big and bushy. It's because the hair's so like clean and like, it goes like that. You need something to like kind of bring it all back in and group all those curls back together. So I really recommend a product like that, along with leave-in conditioner to keep that moisture and make it really nice and beautiful. So if you haven't tried any of those Blue Man products, you don't necessarily have to use Blue Man ones, but Monarch Matte Paste and the Hybrid Cream Clay, both really two good contenders for grouping hair together and taming that shampoo buff, or shampoo puff. So I hope that answers your question, and let's move on to the next one. So the next one is from Milo Hoy. I really like that name, Milo. Can we insert a tin of Milo here? That stuff's yum. Hello, Milo. Thank you so much for doing a submission. Milo's Instagram handle, for anybody that wants to go check him out, is MiloHoy999. And let's go and have a look at my favorite image from Milo. Ah, yes. I really, really liked Milo's ones because he's got the lowered undercut. Now, when I looked at the first image, I just saw his really long hair. And then when I saw the third one, I was like, oh, cool, he's got that lowered undercut. So you guys know when I started growing my hair out, I was like really obsessed with this particular hairstyle. And since I've grown all my hair out, I've decided that I wanted to keep it, but like I still really admire that look. And the reason I chose Milo's was because A, the undercut was really cool, but also he's got really long hair. So if we go and have a look at image 2, we can actually see Milo's hair is like really similar length to mine, like it's down to his collarbone. Usually, most of these entries that came in, they were all like Nate and Anubhav, like they have more of the mid-length bobby sort of hair, but Milo's hair is actually a lot longer. It looks like it's even longer than mine, so it's cool. He's got really long hair with the lowered undercut, and I just really dig the look. For Milo, when we look at image number 3, I'm just looking at the wave in his hair here. Now, the top of it looks pretty cool, but then as we get down further into the wave, they kind of go a little bit like this. And my one tip that I would have had for you, Milo, would be maybe try again like something like Monarch paste to give that a little bit more texture. That's all I think you're lacking in there a bit. I feel like so critical. You might be perfectly happy with how it looks, but this is just like from me looking at it, like if I go, oh, what would I do with this hair? That's probably the number one thing I would do, is look for texturizing products to give you more definition in the hair. Just try that out if you want. That's just my recommendations. Milo also did ask me a question, and it's not hair related. So his question was, would you ever visit Northern Ireland? Not 100% sure if my photos came through, but if I get picked, how would you get picked without a photo? Like, come on. Would I ever go to Northern Ireland? I think I've been to Northern Ireland before. I was very young, I was probably about 14, and my dad took us on a Euro trip, so we went around to Northern Ireland, England, Spain, France, like all those places. So I have been there, but to be honest, like it doesn't stand out on my list of like, yes, Northern Ireland is the next place I'm going. But when I did visit, it was very gorgeous, very green. So the next one is from Sereno. Another really tough one for me to say, I'm really sorry. Sereno's IG is Ram Sereno, or Serenoj. I don't know if you pronounce the J or not. So this is my favorite image from him. The reason I like this one is I cannot believe how freaking full this guy's hair is. Like, look at it, and look at those curls. They just look so tight, they look so full, so thick, and it's just amazing hair. Before we move on to the other two pictures though, let's look at his question, because his question was, I'm having dry, curly, and fuzzy hair. I need more tips and suggest me something for wet look. Okay. So once I read that question, I was kind of like, okay, well, let's have a real good look at this hair and see what we got. Because the first image, or my favorite image, like that one's cool. I really, really like the look of it. But as we look at the other two images as well, this is like Nate as well. We can see that dryness, that fuzziness. And my number one tip specifically for you is try a keratin treatment. This, guys, like look at these two pictures, like images 2 and 3. This hair, this particular hair right here is ideal for a keratin treatment. This is the exact type that you want to do, because those cuticles, like especially look in number 3 and number 2, you can see that extra fuzz happening. And what a keratin treatment does is it shuts those cuticles so that fuzz doesn't happen. Like even with my hair right now, my hair is like this, except it's just not as thick and full. But look at my hair right now, after having a keratin treatment, look at that shine and all the fuzz, it just pisses off. And this type of hair is the epitome of hair that needs a keratin treatment. All right, moving on to the next one. So this one is from Gray Lund. Gray Lund's IG account is Gray_Ashley. So this is my favorite image from Gray Lund. The reason why, again, look, we're looking at a lowered undercut, but this is a different one. This one's specifically just around the neckline. I really like this one too. There's something about it. There was a trainer that I had when I was at Zone. His name was Archie, and he had that in the back of his hair as well. It looks freaking cool, actually. And this might actually be a really good thing to try out, just to like test the waters with the lowered undercut, because like if you get it cut, you're not really missing too much hair. So you've given me an idea. But anyway, I really dig this look. I love the like the shape it's given your head, and I think it looks really trendy. Let's have a look at his other pictures. Okay, so if we look at image number 2, this is Gray's front on image. So another bob length. I've noticed like so many of you are at this bob stage, like it's just up to about here, which is cool. And actually I'm wondering, like, are you guys growing it like longer? What's the deal with it? The reason I liked Gray's hair again was the length, the color looks cool, the curl pattern looks nice as well, and specifically like the winner chicken dinner here was like that undercut. I just thought it looked so groovy, and you're giving me ideas, man. So if we go and look at image 3, this is him lying on a bench with it dangling over so we can really see that length. The curl pattern looks nice. This photo does look like the hair's a little bit greasy though. Have you been using a bit too much Jane Carter solution as well? No, I'm just kidding, but like, honestly, like it could look really good in real life and then in photo it looks so greasy, but when I look at this, it just looked a little bit greasier than the other two. It looks like in the other two photos, your hair's quite naturally moisturized. So yeah, this third image, I don't know if it's the shine or whatever, but just curious. Gray's question to me was, do you have any tattoos or do you plan on getting any? Ooh. Okay, no, I don't have any tattoos, and here's the reason. So I don't know if I have commitment issues. No, I do not have commitment issues at all. Like, I'm committed to lots of things. I just think with tattoos, they are such a permanent thing. And if you could just take a tattoo off and put it back on, like with clothes, I'd probably be all for it. But because it's so like permanent, I don't know, and I'm like a real art fan as well, so I might go and get a big pirate ship with a kraken taking it down on my bicep, but then I might go, oh, but maybe a sparrow would look really good there. I'm just really indecisive like that, and not having the ability to customize really makes me feel a little bit restricted. So if I were to get a tattoo, it would have to be something of very, very solid meaning, and yeah, I don't have any right now. All right, and the final one that we have for today is from Emile Gabriel Chabarou. I think that's how you say that. Again, another one, I just can't get it. We've actually got a very big variety of people in here. We've got some people with shorter hair, some people with bobs, darker hair, lighter hair. I've tried to include like a good rounded amount of people. So if we go and have a look at Emile's photos. So this is my favorite image. I think because like out of all the images that you submitted, I could just see your face properly, I could see your hair properly, and I don't know, this one looks like it's got the most character in it. But when we go and have a look at image 2 and image 3, we can see you are rocking a man bun. It's like a tiny little man bun there. Looks cool, and you've also got another one with your hair out in front of your face with the fringe. If we go to Emile's question, Emile said, do you have any tips to look as masculine as possible with long hair? Because I already look pretty feminine, and that sucks. I'm 18 years old, but I want to get long hair anyway, so do you have any tips for me? Emile, I do have some tips for you. So just upon review here, I can see that you've got quite a baby face, and it shows like you're 18, and I guess at 18 years old, like you're not really expected to have like this full beard. So in these images that you've provided, like you've got a very pixie cut hairstyle, and a pixie cut hairstyle is usually worn by girls. Now with a baby face and a pixie cut, it's gonna be a mix match for that. And on top of that, you do have really light features, so light eyes, light eyebrows. So it's kind of the opposite of a masculine look so far, and even the color. So the color of your hair as well, it all ties in together to give you your look. Now, if you've got a baby face, what you kind of want to do is focus on what you can do to sort of enhance the masculine look of that. So my first recommendation would be to maybe darken your features, like your eyebrows a little bit. You could potentially even try darkening your hair, because this light hair color as well with your light features, it's all very like light, and there's no darkness in there, there's no boldness. If you're trying to inject a bit of masculinity in there, I'd try maybe darkening everything, like all of the features, and perhaps consider getting some shaven sides, like an undercut, and maybe growing the top long. I know that you want long hair, however, when you consider all your different features, like being 18 years old with no facial hair, shaven sides might be the best thing for you right now until later on. I'm just trying to think in terms of how you could like sort of solve this problem, because what I'm seeing here is the light features, the sort of pixie cut and the light hair. They're things that will accentuate the feminine look. So I know it might not be what you want, but if you really want that masculine look more so, you've just kind of got to weigh up your options and yeah, kind of go from it. You don't need to take my advice, but that's what I got for you. All right, and that's it. That's me making my judgments on my subscribers' hair. How did I do for my first time? That was actually a little bit nerve-wracking, because I knew like when I went through and picked them, I was like, oh, I like this about that one. I like this about that one. But then actually coming and saying it, like it actually is a little bit awkward to I don't know, give my opinion like directly to people. Do you know, like when I sit here and talk in my own thought, it's very easy. But when I know that there's going to be someone else on the other end of the camera, like taking in this information, I just felt like I didn't want to be too horrible. But look, the idea of this isn't to judge people and bring them down. It's actually to bring them up and give them my feedback on what I am seeing. So it's all in love, not judgment, okay? Like I just want to make you guys feel as good as you can. And the real purpose of this was to just get a little bit more inclusive with what's going on and allow us to see our faces. Like, these guys are you. Like, that's actually you guys watching these videos. And to me, being able to see that is just so rewarding and so cool that I actually have a network like this. It allows me to put faces to names and really know that what I'm doing is having an impact on people. So that's the really big message here. And I'd love to do so much more of this stuff. The more ways I can engage with you, the better. So amen. Thank you so much for the submissions. I'll be keeping all of the ones that came through. And if this video does well, or if you guys want to see more of this, I will be digging back into that pile and featuring some more of you guys on here, because this was really good fun. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group, which will be in the link in the description box. And make sure you check out my first episode of Sexuality Mondays, which was about how to deal with homophobic people. All the links will be in the description, okay? Thank you, everybody. Have a really good day and a really good week, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.